tuve un problema. Eh, Hubo un problema y tuve que reiniciar todo el juego, no sé qué pasó. Ahora, ¿por qué tengo 78? Bueno, aventé unas moneditas aquí, tres que tenía. Y vean, ahí el lanzamiento de monedas. Y aventé tres y eso es lo que me dio la aprobación extra. No lo aconsejo porque pues así es. Tienen aprobación de sobra en las monedas y pueden completar el 100% con simplemente eso. Entonces, lo que decía, ya agarré el haya y todo eso, pues voy a intentar entrar aquí en la gran biblioteca. ¿Qué pasa ahora en la gran biblioteca? Que ok, entonces ya abrimos el libro. Vamos a ver. La flecha del tiempo vuela en una sola dirección. Su camino ilumina nuestro avance. Ok. Y tenemos que bajar de nuevo. Y volver a subir. Es lo que yo les aconsejo para no perder tanta aprobación. Pero lo pueden hacer directo y seguro no pierden aprobación. Con el tema de las hayas pueden abrir lo que quieran ustedes. Yo por un lado. Ok. Aquí tiene un tema. Hay un orden. Y va a ser... ahorita les digo cómo va a ser esto. Aquí lo había anotado. Ok. Es así. Rudy Kyle. Ah. Maldita sea. Creo que será solo si eres mago. Investigación en Hallamshire. Pistas Lady M. Os necesito a mi lado esta noche. Los acontecimientos vividos en la ala real me han convencido de que el palacio no es seguro. No creo que mi primo haga uso de la magia, pero no me sorprendería que provocase otra infestación. Al no estar aquí mi encantadora de la corte, debo depositar toda mi confianza en vos. No me fío de nadie más, Celine. Ah, cabrón. Esperen, esperen. Ven, eso es lo que pasa, ya perdí un punto. Entonces, lo mejor es ir y regresar y no intentar no perder ningún punto porque ni lean, agarren todo y váyanse de aquí. Huyan, huyan. Siguen con la misma aprobación. Un punto se lo pueden permitir, es más hasta 15, 20 puntos, no tienen problema. Simplemente estaba haciendo muchas cosas y lo que hacía eso no quería. Ok. Investigación Hallamshire, pistas, nietos del emperador judicial Belmont I y la duquesa Catherine de Habsburg, por el emperador judicial II y la baronesa Emilia Campana, príncipe heredero de Cien, tercero, 875-877, príncipe heredero Leopold, 875-877, por el emperador Florian y la margrava Justina del Salto del Casal, princesa Evangeline, 877-877, por el príncipe Renaud y la duquesa Clarice Montfort, 81 Celine, 8094 y aún viva, por la princesa Melisande y duque de Theodore Chalons y gran duque Gaspar de Chalons, 874, gran duquesa Florian de Chalons, 887. Ok, todos están vivos. Oh, regresa, no pierdas puntos, regresa. Ok, bueno. Voy, no. Ojalá si llega. Ya perdí 2 puntos aquí. A ver si regresar lo antes posible.
Just gossip.
Solo chismorreo, solo chismorreo. Ok, para ver que no seas just gossip.
Well, that's useful.
Ok. El cotilleo. Ok, ¿por qué hice lo que lo que estaba haciendo ahí? Porque se me hace como muy útil hacer estas cosas. Déjenme leo esto. Ajá. 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 Ok, a ver si. ¿Qué pasó? ¿Eh? ¿Eh?
Who does Orzammar favor in the negotiations tonight?
King Edukun has put considerable coin behind the Empress in hopes the trade in foodstuffs will resume quickly.
This ball is a waste of time, like all Orlesian foolishness. Let's find the Venatori collaborator and get out of here.
Have you witnessed anything noteworthy?
Nothing yet. I will let you know.
You don't seem to care much for the ball.
Orlesians pretend their petty squabbles are a game. Yes, let us treat murder, corruption, and deceit as delightful amusements. How wonderful. We are here to save Empress Celine, and it galls me. Why does she merit our protection? The Empire would be better off without her. Gaspard is the leader Orlais needs in this crisis.
You support the civil war?
Of course not. Chaos is what Corypheus wants, and we must oppose him. Were it up to me, however, I would let Celine fall and Gaspard take the throne. He would see the true threat, not spend his time throwing balls and writing letters.
Stay alert. We don't know where the enemy is hiding.
I'll be watching for trouble. The sooner we leave this place, the better.
Ok, eso es lo que cree ella. El lobby feroz. A ver, a ver, a ver.
Lord Marcelin, Comte de Travers and his wife Lady Elodie, patroness of the artist Chantal Valroyot, and Sir Bastien Vauquelin, Chevalier of the Empire and paramour of the Comte.
When my third husband, Pierre, lost his life to Rosalia, I swore off marriage forever.
The Baron, Lady Arlette and their son, Lord Edmund, student of the composer Emmeline of Montsimard.
Lady Inquisitor.
I'd like your opinion of this gathering, milady.
It's doomed to fail, of course. Celine knows that. At least it should be amusing. We haven't had such a menagerie at court in living memory.
Have you noticed anything odd this evening?
Too few Imperial guards stand in attendance, my dear. A shame. They are so pleasantly decorative.
A ver.
Here's a dance, Lady Mantillon.
You, Inquisitor, are a delight. One does not often find foreigners so well versed in the game. But you have other dances to perform first. Perhaps you will save me a dance for later?
Good evening, milady.
Can I get you a drink? Come on.
Look at Lady Cambion's slippers. Trimmed with pearls. And emeralds. And those buckles. Toss her into the lake and she'll sink right to the bottom. What a disaster. There's a Tevinter assassin on the loose and you're concerned about buckles on shoes. Everyone needs a hobby. Besides, you can learn a great deal about a person from their clothing. Gold and jewels on a dancing slipper. A slipper is easily lost and finds itself in the dust and dirt. She is unconcerned with the possibility of losing the shoe or soiling it. A vulgar display of wealth. But Lady Cambion's family has recently lost most of its holdings. They have their title, but little else. So, how did Cambion acquire such a grand shoe, What has she done? Who has she bedded? These are all useful questions, no? You're different here than in Skyhold. More approachable, perhaps. This is Halam Shiral, Inquisitor. This is the Imperial Court. This is the beating heart of the great game. Of course, everyone is wearing a mask. I learned this very young. I was still a girl when I attended my first ball. All this, the smiles, the small talk, it is a dance. And like any dance, it can be learned. For some of us, it has become so familiar that the steps may be performed in our sleep.
Who do you think the Inquisition should support?
What we need most of all is a stable Orlais. Either Celine or Gaspard can give us that. I found this out. I'm not sure of its value. Very interesting. It may not help our investigation, but we can put it to use. A little more dirt like this, and we might have some leverage in the court. If you find more, let me know.
Have you seen anything in...
Oh, yes. But no sign of a Tevinter infiltrator, I'm afraid.
Is it true the Inquisitor was headed out of the Faith by Andraste?
Ok, con eso ya tenemos toda la aprobación de la corte. prefiero no darles información. Es mejor guardarla para cuando realmente la necesitemos.
Can I get you a drink, Commander Cullen?
No, thank you.
We can only hope Celine prevails tonight. Gaspar will ruin us all.
Son 13.
What is Lady Pentecost wearing, Inquisitor?
Lady...
It's been too long since I've had any word from Valroyo.
Accompanying the ambassador, her daughter, Lady Badeline, renowned
La
poet and
chingada,
author.
entonces, ¿qué hay que hacer?
Prince Ezio Valisti of the House of Valisti in Antiva, and third Talon of the Antivan Crows.
Ok, es tonto, pero para continuar, aunque parezca estúpido,
We are not serving drinks. Bother someone else.
ok, perdón.
Anyone from our contacts? Gaspar is wasting his time. Nothing he does could win over the
Did you hear what Gaspar said to Duke Germain?
I am not talking to you until we get
Germain bore his nephew's spite better than the rest of the council. Did you see that panicked attaché roaming about?
Good evening, Inquisitor.
Qué volé. ¿Cuál es el tema? Aquí se gastan tres hayas.
Lady Nightingale
Están
makes me nervous.
Pinche Leilana, sí, claro, a todos. Sí, está bien. Es poderosa, es una mujer muy poderosa. Yo respeto eso de ella. Ok, entonces sí, a fuerza tenemos que entrar aquí y recoger esto. Que ya leímos en el gameplay pasado, no lo voy a volver a leer.
That's the bell. I should get back to the ballroom.
Gaspar is wasting his time. Nothing he does could win over the
Ahora, ¿cuál es el tema con el baile? Aquí podemos ganar puntos, creo. Según yo. Vamos a hacer un poco de tiempo. Si llegamos un poco tarde, elegantemente tarde, hacemos todas las cosas que tenemos que hacer y vamos a esperar aquí.
That would be the second bell. Fashionably late now.
Y esto es sano, ¿no? O sea, ya tenemos 86 puntos.
Well,
Elegantemente tarde.
What have we here?
Esa voz.
The leader of the new Inquisition.
¡Oh, es Morrigan!
Fabled herald of the faith. Delivered from the grasp of the Fade by the hand of blessed Andraste herself. What could bring such an exalted creature here to the Imperial Court, I wonder? Do even you know?
Sigue siendo hermosísima esta mujer.
I'm here on important business concerning the entire Empire.
As am I, it seems. I am Morrigan. Some call me advisor to Empress Celine on matters of the arcane. You have been very busy this evening, hunting in every dark corner of the palace. Perhaps you and I hunt the same prey.
I hope so. I could use another ally here.
A sentiment I share, considering recent events.
Recent events?
Recently I found and killed an unwelcome guest within these very halls. An agent of Tevinter. So I offer you this, Inquisitor. A key found on the Tevinter's body. Where it leads, I cannot say. Yet, if Celine is in danger, I cannot leave her side long enough to search. You can.
You left Celine alone. Is that wise?
I must return to her anon, but she is safe enough. For the moment. 'Twould be a great fool who strikes at her in public in front of all her court and the Imperial Guard.
What's your interest in protecting Empress Celine? Are you her bodyguard?
Do I seem a bodyguard to you? If anything were to happen to Celine, eyes would turn first to her occult advisor, even if they knew otherwise. There are sharks in the water, and I will not fall prey to them. Not now, not ever.
Why did you kill the agent? He might have had useful information.
I would not have slain the man on sight had he not attacked me first. Why? Undoubtedly, I caught him in an illicit act. I did not know from whence he came until after the battle, and regret only that I could not capture him alive. What intentions the Imperium has here, I suspect you know far better than I.
If you truly want answers, help me find them.
I already told you. I must return to protect the Empress. Proceed with caution, Inquisitor. Enemies abound, and not all of them aligned with Tevinter. What comes next will be most exciting.
Me encanta que hable de lado, o sea, no tiene ni idea de lo bella que para mí es Morrigan. Entonces, vi algo antes de... voy a intentar hacerlo. Quítate, quítate. No hay nada. Fashionable late. Ahí está.
Where are Elmo and Colette? Who cares?
Ahora sí. Y luego...
Is that Marquis Etienne? He's fiendishly handsome.
could be worth checking out.
Some will be held accountable for this.
Must be the elves. Riala's people are looking for.
Shall we have a look around?
This was no servant. What was he doing here?
This man was a Council of Herald's emissary. Curious to find him here.
Is that the Chalon family crest? What have you been up to, Gaspard?
Time to have a word with the Duke. Venatori agents! The Venatori were watching this approach. They're organized.
An elven locket? Stored away in a palace safe. Unwise, Celine.
Fancy meeting you here. So, you're Inquisitor Trevelyan. I'm surprised they got you sobered up and dressed for this party. We haven't been properly introduced, have we? I'm Ambassador Briala.
Ambassador, is it? Whose ambassador are you exactly?
If the nobility is going to treat elves as if we are not citizens, we may as well have the trappings of a foreign power. You clean this place out. Will take a month to get all the Tevinter blood off the marble. I came down to save or avenge my missing people. But you've beaten me to it. So, the Council of Herald's emissary in the courtyard. That's not your work, is it?
He was dead when I arrived.
I expected as much. You may have arrived with the Grand Duke, but you don't seem to be doing his dirty work. I knew he was smuggling his chevaliers. But killing a council emissary? Bringing Tevinter assassins into the palace? Those are desperate acts. Gaspard must be planning to strike tonight.
Are you sure he's behind this? He was too easygoing for a man plotting treason.
Don't let his charm blind you. He's Orlesian. That smile is his mask. I misjudged you, Inquisitor. You might just be an ally worth having. What could you do with an army of elven spies at your disposal? You should think about it.
What do I have to give you in exchange for this army of spies?
A moment of consideration. I know which way the wind is blowing. I'd bet coin that you'll be part of the peace talks before the night is over. And if you happen to lean a little bit our way, it could prove advantageous to us both. Just a thought. More politics and double-dealing. Is there anyone here who is not corrupt?
There is so much conniving and backstabbing here. Makes me homesick.
Hold the area.
Thank you, Inquisitor.
Did you see that knife-eared servant girl in the kitchen? The ginger.
Keep talking. I am starting to believe I was there.
I need to get one of those.
Don't we all?
That would be the second bell. Fashionably late now.
Inquisitor Trevelyan. We met briefly. I am Grand Duchess Floriane de Chalon. Welcome to my party.
Is there something I can do for you, Your Grace?
Indeed you can. I believe tonight you and I are both concerned by the actions of a certain person. Come, dance with me. Spies will not hear us on the dance floor.
Very well. Shall we dance, Your Grace?
I'd be delighted. You are from the Free Marches, are you not? How much do you know about our little war?
It doesn't matter where you're from, Your Grace. Everyone knows what's happening in the Empire.
I often forget about the world outside of the Imperial Court.
It took great effort to arrange tonight's negotiations. Yet one party would use this occasion for blackest treason. The security of the Empire is at stake. Neither one of us wishes to see it fall.
Do we both want that, Lady Floriane?
I hope we are of one mind on this.
In times like these, it's hard to tell friend from foe. Is it not, Your Grace?
I know you arrived here as a guest of my brother Gaspard, and have been everywhere in the palace. You are a curiosity to many, Inquisitor, and a matter of concern to some.
Am I the curiosity or the concern to you, Your Grace?
A little of both, actually. This evening is of great importance, Inquisitor. I wonder what role you will play in it. Do you even yet know who is friend and who is foe? Who in the court can be trusted?
An excellent question. I might ask the same of you, Your Grace.
In the Winter Palace, everyone is alone. It cannot have escaped your notice that certain parties are engaged in dangerous machinations tonight.
I thought dangerous machinations were the national sport in Orlais.
You have little time. The attack will come soon. You must stop Gaspard before he strikes. In the Royal Wing Garden, you will find the captain of my brother's mercenaries. He knows all Gaspard's secrets. I'm sure you can persuade him to be forthcoming.
We'll see what the night has in store, won't we?
You'll be the talk of the court for months. We should take you dancing more often.
I'd happily do more dancing, just not with Corypheus.
I promise not to invite him to your next ball.
Were you dancing with Duchess Florian?
More importantly, what happened in the servants' quarters? I heard there was fighting.
I hope you have good news. It appears the peace talks are crumbling.
Morrigan helped me get into the servants' quarters, where I found a group of Venatori, and Gaspard's dagger.
The man would truly do anything to become Emperor.
Then, the attack on the Empress will happen tonight.
Warning Celine is pointless. She needs these talks to succeed, and to flee would admit defeat.
Then perhaps we should let her die. You have an idea, Leliana. What Corypheus wants is chaos. Even with Celine alive, that could still happen. To foil his plan, the Empire must remain strong. This evening, someone must emerge victorious.
And it doesn't need to be Celine. She's right.
Do you realize what you're suggesting, Leliana?
Sometimes the best path is not the easiest one. You're asking me to decide what's best for Orlais?
More than that, whoever controls the Imperial throne will affect all of Thedas.
You cannot stop Corypheus without a decision. You must support someone, or all is lost.
Then we should support Celine. She is the rightful ruler. Why would we say otherwise?
Because she led Orlais to this point. I say Gaspard, provided his sister is wrong about him.
I would suggest Brialla. She could bring true peace, not only to the Empire, but also to its elves.
This is, however, your decision, Inquisitor, not ours.
I can't decide this. Not yet. You must. Even inaction is a decision, Inquisitor.
You could speak to Celine in the ballroom, but she won't act. Not without proof.
If Gaspard is guilty, he'll admit nothing. If he's innocent, he knows nothing. We need the truth.
What did Duchess Florian tell you?
She said Gaspard's mercenary captain is in the Royal Wing, that he knows about the assassination.
Which could be a trap.
Or a lead. Either way, you should search the private quarters in that wing for clues.
Then get me access, and in the meantime, get your soldiers into position.
At once. Be careful, Inquisitor.
4 times with Cyril de Montfort.
Interesting. Waste of time.
How are the talks proceeding?
They remind me of the assembly of wars.
It can't be that bad.
Emissaries to Kal Shorok have yet to return.
Just gossip.
You must admit, the work done in Cumberland is...
Boring.
I am not talking to you until we get home.
Fine by me.
Just gossip. Waste of time.
How are the talks proceeding?
They remind me of the assembly of wars.
It can't be that bad.
Your investments seem to be paying off.
War encourages armies to borrow coin. No one wants to lose their country because they were afraid of interest rates.
I had no idea. I should look around.
I am not talking to you until we get home.
Interesting.
Did you see that knife-eared servant girl in the kitchen? The ginger.
Keep talking. I am starting to believe I was there.
I need to get one of those.
Don't we all?
Is it true what they say? You're the Inquisitor, are you not? We heard stories of your accomplishments.
I'd wager I have better tales than anything you've heard.
I told you, Philippe.
Not everyone fights an archdemon and lives to tell. It's an inspiration.
If you'd like, Commander Cullen could give you all the details of that battle. He's in the ballroom.
Really? But I shouldn't leave my post.
You'd only be gone a moment.
Philippe, the world is coming to an end. If we don't hear this story now, we'll never have a chance.
You're right. Thank you, Inquisitor. Let's go.
Should have considered that before threatening to burn them all in their homes.
How's things looking out there?
Are
Are the negotiations over yet?
Both the Empress and the Grand Duke look angry. This can't be
his nephew's spite better than the rest of the council. Did you see that panicked attaché roaming about?
I had no idea.
I told you this is closed. Use the main doors.
Duke Gaspard wants another bottle of brandy. We'd better have 2 or 3 of them.
It's been too long since I've had any word from Valroyo.
This is a private conversation.
My apologies. I didn't mean to bother you. Gentlemen.
Are all the glances? Make her, I hope not.
And I had 3 ducks and a fox, and I'll get this. Just be patient. I take the fox across with a second ring... No, that won't work.
Stick with it. You'll figure it out.
Inquisitor.
What a pleasant surprise.
Perhaps you could tell me about the Council of Heralds. What is its purpose?
Of course, my lady. The Council of Heralds exists to oversee the inheritance and creation of new titles of nobility.
Titles outside the royal family are not recognized at court, but they remain part of ancient estates. In the event that there is no clear inheritor to an estate, it falls to us to decide the case.
You haven't seen anything unusual tonight, have you?
Nothing could be more peculiar than Gaspard and Selene dancing together.
Now that you mention it, the royal wing is sealed, and no one knows why.
A great pity. The garden in that part of the palace is exquisite.
Another time, perhaps.
And it walks on 3 legs at tea time.
Maker's breath. You're never going to guess.
Considered that
More
before
servers in the
threatening to
ballroom.
burn them all in
Where's
their
everybody?
homes.
Keep an eye on the Duke.
Are all the Delancés here?
Maker, I hope not.
Inquisitor?
It's been too long since I've had any word from Valroyo. It's been too long since I've had any word from Valroyo.
I would love to hear what your time will come. Another time.
My dear Maximilian, and the poor chevaliers. Inquisitor. At least too few Imperial.
Would you care to dance, Lady Mantillon?
But you have other dances to perform first, perhaps?
Good evening.
Mistress Nightingale, what a pleasure to see you again. You look radiant.
Marquis.
Inquisitor, is there something you needed?
Does anyone have a report on the casualties in the Dales?
Inquisitor, to what do we owe this honor?
We are always delighted to speak with you, of course. Her Imperial Majesty is unfortunately occupied at present.
If the evening ends favorably for the Empress, how does the Inquisition benefit?
Her Imperial Majesty brings the might of the Olesian Empire with her friendship.
She is also a respected diplomat and world leader. She can forge alliances for you with Rivain, Antiva, the Underfells. And she throws the best parties.
Perhaps you could tell me something then. We haven't been properly introduced.
How rude of us to forget. Milady Inquisitor, may I present Lady Couteau?
And Lady Colombe.
And of course, Lady Fleur. We are the Empress's ladies-in-waiting.
I'd like to know more about Empress Celine.
Her Majesty has held the throne since she was just 16 years old.
She is respected and beloved, not just in Orlais, but across Thedas. She doesn't care much for liver, and she drinks her tea black.
I'd like to know more about the negotiations. What is the Empress trying to accomplish with the negotiations?
Peace is her only objective, Inquisitor.
Gaspard and Briala are driven by personal ambitions, but those desires threaten the safety of all Olesians. The war must end tonight. We must conclude this to deal with the larger crisis.
What's happening with the peace talks now?
Things do not look promising.
The Grand Duke is as stubborn as always. He will not accept anything but victory in battle. But the night is young, and Her Majesty will do everything she can to persuade him.
My investigations turned up something interesting.
And
Good evening.
Until next time, Inquisitor.
Do take care. Enjoy the masquerade.
My friend, come in, have a drink. What can I do for you? You've been busily charming the court, I see.
I'd like to know more about you.
All of Orlais knows my story. But you, my friend, are far too sensible to be Orlesian. The heart of it is simple. I am the rightful heir to the throne of Orlais. But my cousin, Celine, is a politician, while I am a man of action. She charmed the Council of Heralds. They gave the crown to her, and while it looks fetching on her, I intend to take it back.
What's your claim to the throne?
The 100 Days Cough swept Valroya in 877. It killed thousands of children, royalty and commoner alike. There are only 3 living grandchildren of Emperor Judicael I. Myself, my sister Floriane, and Celine. And I am the eldest. By rights, the crown should have passed to me.
If you're the rightful heir, how did Celine become Empress?
I am the oldest, but I lack the Valmont name. My mother was the late Emperor's sister. Celine is a Valmont. Her honored father was my mother's brother. But she is the youngest. When there is any doubt surrounding the line of succession, the matter falls to the Council of Heralds. Celine outplayed me, forming alliances on the Council for support. So they passed over me in her favor.
So you intend to out-negotiate your cousin?
It will take heroic effort on my part, Inquisitor, and a lot of brandy. The talks will take most of the evening. Make her willing, we will emerge triumphant.
I have a question about the peace talks. What are you hoping to achieve at the negotiations?
I intend to take back what is rightfully mine. Celine stole the crown through politicking, but I am the rightful emperor of Orlais. The Empire has been mired in intrigue for too long. We need a clear course of action.
What action did you have in mind?
The Empire is declining. We cannot allow Nevarra and Ferelden to chip away our borders. I will see Orlais return to glory as the strongest nation in Thedas.
You say you hate politics, but you're here to negotiate.
I can play the game when I must. If I couldn't, I'd be dead by now, Inquisitor. But it is not my choice. Celine has my sister involved in this mess. I would prefer to settle this on the battlefield. But for Floriane, I will sit and talk.
If something were to happen to the Empress, how would that change your plans?
Celine has not declared an heir. If the Maker called her home, the crown would fall to me. But the Council of Heralds would try to implicate me in any misfortune. If they succeeded, the crown could pass to my sister, or one of our more distant cousins.
How have the negotiations been so far?
The port won't last the evening, I'm afraid. We will end the night with nothing settled. Which should surprise nobody, but it will disappoint my sister. I don't know why she had such high hopes for this ball. Florian always was hopelessly optimistic.
We'll speak later, Duke Gaspard.
Another time, friend.
It's been too long since I've had any word from Valroyo.
Inquisitor Trevelyan. Slumming even more than usual, I see. You've charmed some of the nobles. We'll see how long you can keep their favor. What brings you to me?
I want to know more about the peace talks. What are you hoping to gain from tonight's negotiations?
A voice. Simple enough, isn't it? My people have none. We've lived for centuries amid the lowest ranks of society. No one hears us. No one sees us. If the elves of Halam Shiral were elevated, if we had an elven noble at court, we'd have recognition. A voice.
How much can a single member of the court do?
It won't remake the world overnight, if that's what you're asking. Our problem is invisibility. The people in power are used to ignoring us. We're not actors. We're scenery. We need elves in positions where they can't be overlooked. We need to force humans to take us seriously.
How will you persuade the Empress to elevate an elf to nobility?
It is already in place. Celine knows she needs us to tip the balance of the civil war in her favor. All we have to do is wait. She'll exhaust her other options and come to us for help. Then, we'll name our price.
I assume the role of elevated noble will fall to you, Milady Briala.
Let's be honest, Inquisitor. The sole elven noble in the court isn't going to have a position of power and luxury. But that's the future. We need to focus on the task at hand.
If Celine were killed, what would happen to your plans?
Assuming I'm not the one blamed, it would be precarious. I've been working on Gaspard, but he's like a charging bull. It would be easier to rein him in if I had something that could hurt him.
I had a question about you, Briala.
I'm an elf, Inquisitor. That should tell you everything you need to know about my life. I'm good at what I do. And so that matters. I will help my people no matter the cost.
I've been told you were romantically involved with the Empress.
I didn't take you for a gossip monger, Inquisitor. I suppose your spies have already briefed you, so there's no point in pretending. Yes, Celine and I were lovers once, but we've gone our separate ways now.
What's your story? How is an elf invited to the Empress's ball as an ambassador?
Empress Celine and I have history. There was a time when I put my spies at her disposal. She knows my qualifications. We had a falling out. Now we are negotiating to determine whether I return to her side in the war.
What do you mean, we had a falling out?
She betrayed me. Turned me over to the guards on a trumped-up charge to save her political reputation. It wasn't personal. It's the game. That's how all Orlesians justify these things to themselves. It wouldn't do to let the court know she had an elven friend.
If she doesn't win you back to her side, what do you intend to do?
I have contingency plans. I'm not a child putting all my hopes on a single ball. This evening gives me access to Duke Gaspard. He's challenging. Not as progressive or persuadable as his cousin. But with time and sufficient blackmail, he might work with us.
I'm surprised you'd admit that, considering the circumstances.
I know it's incriminating. Few harbor more resentment against Celine than I. But if she died after inviting me here, the court would certainly pin her death on me. An elf assassinating the Empress? Alienages across Orlais, across all Thedas, would be purged. That cannot happen.
We'll speak more later, Ambassador.
Another time, Inquisitor.
We can only hope Celine prevails tonight.
Do you enjoy
music, Quinas?
Everyone enjoys music.
Lady Inquisitor. At least it should be too few Imperial guards stand.
We'll hold the area.
I should look around.
Inquisitor.
If I heard correctly, you'd like to stop the rebel mages. We share a common goal.
I thought you had forged an alliance with the rebel leader Fiona.
The rebels have been reined in. They will be kept under watch.
My steward will contact your ambassador. I have skilled people who could be put to great use.
Gentlemen.
It's been too long since I've had any word from Valroyo.
But if I take the fox across with a second ring... No, that won't work.
Stick with it. You'll figure it out.
Lady Nightingale makes me nervous.
Inquisitor was headed out of the Fade by Andraste?
considered that before threatening to burn them all in their homes.
Did you hear what Gaspard said to Duke Germain? His own uncle.
Germain bore his nephew's spite better than the rest of the council.
Duke Gaspard wants another bottle of brandy. We'd better have to agree.
You must admit, the work done in Cumberland is revolutionary.
I have yet to see the device, but the ambassador... Barrow will talk of nothing else.
Hello? Is anyone there? Somebody... Anybody?
Oh, thank you. Are you all right?
I don't think I'm hurt. No one's supposed to be here. Briala said... Oh, I shouldn't have trusted her.
Briala told you to come to this wing of the palace?
Not personally. The ambassador can't be seen talking to the servants. We get coded messages at certain locations, but the order came from her. She's been watching the Grand Duke all night. No surprise she wanted someone to search his sister's room.
Is there anyone else who knows the code and the drop location who could have written those orders?
I don't know. Any of us could do it, but... No. No one else would send me here. It had to be Briala.
So this room belongs to Grand Duchess Floriane?
It used to. This had been her private room in Halam Shiral since she was a child. But this part of the palace was damaged, and the royal family moved to the guest wing.
What were you trying to find in Floriane's old room?
The message didn't say. I should have known it was a setup.
This wing is sealed. How did you get in here?
Easy. The door was unlocked. One of the others probably handled it.
If there's a reason you distrust Briala, I want to hear it.
I knew her. Before. When she was Celine's pet. Now she wants to play Revolution, but I remember. She was sleeping with the Empress who purged our alienage.
Would you be willing to testify to that, if I asked?
Absolutely. If the Inquisition will protect me, I'll tell you everything I know about our ambassador.
Most Orlesians would say that's Celine's scandal, not Briala's.
Go to the ballroom. Find Commander Cullen. He'll keep you safe.
Thank you. Make her protect you, Inquisitor.
stinking trap. Yes, definitely.
You painted Orlesian assholes! When I get out of this, I'll push you like the pigs you are!
What happened?
It's not what it looks like. Honestly, I would have preferred it if it were what it looks like. The Empress led me to believe I would be rewarded for betraying the Grand Duke. This was not what I hoped for.
You're telling me that Empress Celine left you naked and trussed like a roast duck?
Please, I beg you, don't tell Gaspard. The Empress beguiled me into giving her information about plans for troop movements in the palace tonight. She knows everything. Everything. The Duke's surprise attack has been countered before it ever began. She's turned it into a trap. The moment he strikes, she'll have him arrested for treason.
Clever Celine. Even I'm impressed.
I don't know which is worse. Celine for using such a tactic, or him for falling for it.
Oh, Orlesians.
I'll protect you from Gaspard if you're willing to testify about Celine's trap.
I'll do anything. Anything.
Everyone in the Empire has gone completely mad.